You might already know how to calculate median and quartiles. Raw data is where it's not grouped or put in a table, it's literally just a string of numbers. And you might know how to do this already, but it's probably worth watching this video just to see how to do it in the A-level way, the way that's expected by the Edexcel exam. So, we're going to start by looking at data that's been given to us in a stem and leaf diagram, and we're going to find lower quartile, median, upper quartile. So, starting with the lower quartile, what we do is we add up how much data there is and divide it by 4. In this case, there's 31 pieces of data altogether, so we're going to do 31 divided by 4, and what this is going to tell us is which piece of data we're looking for. Now, there's two things that could happen here: either I get a whole number or not a whole number. If it's not a whole number, round up. Okay, if it is a whole number, for example, just a quick example, say we had 20 bits of data and we divided it by 4 and we got 5. We do not want the 5th piece of data, okay? Don't fall into that trap of thinking you just want the 5th bit. You want the 5th bit and the 6th bit, and you're going to do the average of those two. So if it's not a whole number, round up. Even if it's really like 7.1, you round up. And if it is a whole number, don't take that one. Take that one and the next one and average them. So our example here, we've got 31 divided by 4 is 7.75, so that rounds up to 8. So we want the 8th piece of data, and if you count along, you should see that the 8th bit is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There it is. And it's not the number 7, it's the number 17. So the lower quartile is 17. Okay, median, Q2 this is sometimes called. Lower quartile is sometimes called Q1. Median is called Q2. We're going to take the total amount of data and divide it by 2. So that's going to give us 15.5. That is not a whole number, so we round it up to the 16th. The 16th piece of data is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This one, which is 24. So the median is 24. So the median isn't 16, it's the 16th, which is 24. Upper quartile, which is written Q3, we're going to do 31 divided by 4 times 3. So that's 3/4 of the way through the data, which I'm just doing on a calculator. 23.25. That's not a whole number, so it rounds up to the 24th. And then you count along, and the 24th is 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 24th is 39. So there's our lower quartile, our median, and our upper quartile. To find out whether any of these bits of data are outliers, we start by calculating the interquartile range. So the interquartile range is the upper quartile minus the lower quartile, 39 minus 17, which is 22. Now we're allowed to go 1.5 times 22, so that's 3/2 times 22, which is 33. We can go 33 below the lower quartile, so we can go Q1 minus 33. Anything there within that is still okay, it's not an outlier. Or we can go 33 above the upper quartile. So anything above there is still fine. So upper quartile is 39. That's 72. Is anything above 72? No. No upper outliers. What about below? I think this is going to be a boring example with no outliers. So Q1 is 17. 17 minus 33 is minus 16. Is anything below minus 16? No, it's not. No lower outliers. I should probably have chosen an example with some outliers, shouldn't I? But hopefully you get the idea. Okay, as a little practice, have a go at this one. I think he might be an outlier, but can't tell until you do Q3 plus 1.5 times the interquartile range. But he might be an outlier, I'm not sure. So yeah, pause the video, have a go, see if you can find the lower quartile, median, upper quartile. Remember, if you get a whole number, you don't just take that one, you take that one and the next one and average them. And if you don't get a whole number, round up. Calculate the IQR, use it to check for outliers. Pause the video, unpause when you're ready to check your answers. So here's the 3 quartiles. Did you notice that you start counting from the bottom in this one because the lowest is at the bottom, so you have to check the way that the stem and leaf's been written out, whether you start counting from up here or start counting from down here. So all of these addresses, like the ones we're looking for, they all came out as decimals, so you round up. 8.25 rounds up to 9th, 16.5 rounds up to 17th, 24.75 rounds up to 25th. And hopefully I've counted correctly and got the right answers there. Hopefully you agree. So here's the calculations we need for checking for outliers. We use our Q1, Q2, Q3, well actually only Q1 and Q3, to find the interquartile range, which is 25. 1.5 times the interquartile range is 37.5. We're allowed to go 1.5 times the interquartile range below Q1, giving us 13.5. And it's not an outlier. No outliers below, because 16 isn't below 13.5, so there's no outliers below. And Q3 plus 37.5 is 113.5. Biggest I've got is 96, so no outliers above either. What a disappointment. We found no outliers in the whole video.